If you want an answer to the question that haunts you at night, what kind of underwear does Jesse wear? I know you, if you're a regular viewer, you know it's Sheath underwear. Anyway, stick around to the end of this video for an offer from what is absolutely, without doubt, my favorite pair of undies. Let us talk about the unmitigated disaster that was Donald Trump's interview. Oh, that's a real slippery term anymore. With Elon Musk, that ended up being just a mess. It was really late getting started. They couldn't get it together. It seems as though, I said this earlier in another video, but it seems as though Elon Musk is really making a concerted effort to tank the candidacy of Donald Trump, or at least, at the very least, show himself, to out himself as a terrible technician of technology, a terrible purveyor of the thing he claims to be a genius about, or at the very least, so many people believe him to be a genius about. I'm going to read 3 paragraphs from this brilliant summation of what took place from a USA Today columnist, Rex Hupke. And it's too beautiful. His prose just sums things up so great. And then I'm going to play some clips of Donald Trump just seemingly, like he either didn't, we know he had his teeth in because we have photos. There's a photo of him all slumped over, just looking terrible. But he's slurring his words like he got his retainer in or something. It's really all very weird. It makes me remember the photo of him when he was like hissing at the media. And that's the voice that I suspect comes out of his face when he's making that stupid look. So here's the USA Today headline: Trump rambles, slurs his way through Elon Musk interview. It was an unmitigated disaster. Oh, there we go. Something Rex Hupke and I agree on, that it was an unmitigated disaster. For a fascism-curious billionaire who loves cuddling up to right-wing loons, Elon Musk sure is good at making right-wing politicians look stupid. Former President Donald Trump had loudly trumpeted a planned Monday night interview with Musk that would stream on Twitter. But much like the disastrous X-platformed Twitter launch of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign, the Musk/Trump interview failed to launch, leaving social media users laughing at the collective incompetence. And then finally here, and this is not the end of the article, that'll be linked below, but this is where I'm going to end it. Since Vice President Kamala Harris rose to the top of the Democratic presidential ticket last month, Trump's re-election campaign has been flailing. His childish attacks against her aren't working. His racist comments about her mixed race heritage have repelled all but his most loyal supporters. His vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, becomes less likable every time he speaks. Now, all of that is true. It was absolutely an embarrassment. It has to be, unless Elon Musk is just another Republican that is shameless and dignity-free and doesn't have the emotional wherewithal or depth of character to feel embarrassed about his failures. He actually blamed this on a DDoS attack, a distributed denial of service attack that he was claiming, and I'm going to play a clip here, claiming was because they don't want to hear what Donald Trump has to say. They make it into a grand conspiracy as though Donald Trump's avant-garde ideas are so dangerous that hackers need to silence him. When really, in reality, it's very likely, and I need to tread lightly here because Elon has a trigger finger on lawsuits, but it seems very plausible that it was just the fecklessness of Twitter and their engineers and Elon Musk himself, and they couldn't get it together. You don't have the preparation. You know this is a planned thing. It wasn't impromptu. And the same thing happened with Ron DeSantis. They don't have their shit together. So anyway, here is Elon Musk, another vaunted genius, explaining that it was actually a hacking attack.
All of our data lines, like basically hundreds of gigabits of data, were saturated. We think we've overcome most of that, and So it's now time to proceed. But as this massive attack illustrates, there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say.
This massive attack illustrates there's a lot of opposition to just hearing what President Trump has to say. Donald Trump is on the campaign trail. Donald Trump has absolutely unfettered access to right-wing media. There is no shortage of Donald Trump reaching the masses, reaching the voters, reaching people's ears and eyes. He has his own social media platform that he posts videos on, that he posts. He's not silenced. Stop with this victim narrative, these two wildly wealthy silver spoon morons trying to act like they are martyrs and victims. Gag. Gross. So there's a couple of clips here. There's 3 more clips I want to play. One is Donald Trump talking about Vladimir Putin and what he said to Vladimir Putin. And if you needed any more evidence at all that Donald Trump is slipping away, that he doesn't really have a grasp on how to communicate effectively to an audience anymore, that even the old tricks have lost their luster with the MAGA world, here he is saying that he repelled an attack, an impending attack on Ukraine by Russia by telling Vladimir Putin, just wait for it. It's just too good. And then imagine while he's saying it that he's a Valley girl from the 80s.
And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do. And he said, no way. And I said, way.
Did you catch all that? I said to Vladimir Putin, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. If you do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way. I said, way. I am the president of the United States, and I told a hostile foreign adversary, way, man. Totally way. It's Spicoli. It's not a Valley girl. It's Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and he wants to be president again. Fantastic. The other thing that came of this was Donald Trump apparently didn't have his dentures or his veneers secured. They were slopping around in his mouth, and he sounded like a cartoon character with his slurring. Here, just listen to this, and again, imagine the picture of him with his hissing face while trying to talk on this bizarre interview.
Because I see you broke every record in the book with so many millions of people, and it's an honor. We view that as an honor. And then you do want silencing of certain voices.
The silencing of certain voices. The silencing of certain voices. Oh, yes, Elon. Like, all right, I'm done. The other thing, and this kind of does go back into this victim narrative, this martyr mentality that these idiots have, that they're the richest people on the planet, the most powerful people on the planet, who have access to influence, who have access to capital, who want to paint themselves as victims. And this is Donald Trump acting as though he's doing a brave thing by sitting down with a major campaign contributor in Elon Musk and answering the really tough questions. There were no tough questions. It was just a meandering, rambling conversation between two idiots. But he wants to paint Kamala Harris as afraid to sit down for actual tough interviews. Watch this.
They don't need Elon screaming out questions. It's pretty sad when you think that somebody that does this for a living can't answer a question or is afraid to do an interview. And in her case, with a very friendly interview, she's got all friendly interviewers. It's pretty sad.
When you sit down for a tough interview, Donald Trump, let us know so we can tune in. We see what tough interviews you go, your phone-ins on Fox and Friends. You're sitting down with a major campaign contributor, someone who has endorsed you. Shut up with this nonsense. So this is a Twitter. Kamala Harris's Twitter team is fantastic, and their campaign account is great. They tweeted this: our statement on ellipsis, whatever that was. And this was the statement. Donald Trump's extremism and dangerous Project 2025 agenda is a feature, not a glitch of his campaign, which was on full display for those unlucky enough to listen in tonight during whatever that was on X.com, Twitter. On Twitter. Let's call it Twitter. It's Twitter. Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year 2024. Ding, 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 ding. Absolutely correct. And by the way, to call it a live stream, it was just audio. It wasn't even video, and they couldn't get it right. So stupid. Certain people, silencing certain people. What do you think? Did you tune in? You know, the other thing is they're now claiming that there were like 1 billion people tuned in. It's just insanity because every community now has a cult-like following, especially in these weird spaces, no pun intended to the Twitter Spaces thing. And they're going to believe that 1 billion people, us rational people, reasonable people who are moored by facts and evidence, aren't buying it though. Anyway, what do you think? You can leave a comment below. We can talk about it there. You can also leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, you want to help me make these videos, these fantastic, high-tech, amazing videos, for $2 a month, you can become a channel member. I don't know why I'm shitting on it while I'm trying to get you to become a channel member. Maybe I'm a terrible businessman like Donald Trump. Anyway, you can click below for $2 a month. You can help support this work, help me reach the voice, the ears that I do, the eyes that I do on a monthly basis. I would appreciate it. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Those are great ways to help support the work. But another way to help support the work is to listen to this fantastic offer from my favorite underwear company, Sheath. Here in the United States, we grant separate powers to 3 co-equal branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. Divided, each branch can better support the working of our government as a whole. Why shouldn't this practice carry over to the governing of our own bodies? Rather than allowing your branch and berries to stew in a single stuffy cesspool, well, why not divide so as to diminish your discomfort? Sheath Underwear is here to help you separate your church and your state. Sheaths are the only underwear with the dual pouch system scientifically designed to keep your executive branch separated from your judicial, if you know what I mean. Democratize your drawers. Head to sheathunderwear.com/Dollemore now and score 20% off right away. It was invented by a U.S. Army veteran while serving a tour in Iraq. The idea for Sheath arose from the discomfort that was experienced in these harsh environments. As a former United States Marine stationed in that part of the world, I get the inspiration. I wear Sheath every single day, and they are the only boxers that can agreeably accommodate my tree trunk thighs and keep my branches of government carefully compartmentalized. And I'm not the only fan out there. Sheath are recommended by multiple doctors and urologists and have over 20,000 5-star reviews. The airflow meshes, they're my favorite personally, but Sheath has tons of excellent styles and designs. And once you pick, Sheath will land them on your doorstep nearly instantly, thanks to blindingly fast shipping and amazing customer service. Also, your purchase doesn't just help you out. Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders. So you're making the world a better place too. Upgrade your undergarments right now. Score 20% off when you head to sheathunderwear.com/Dollemore and divide and conquer your discomfort with Sheath underwear.